Welcome back, everyone. Right now it is 10:14 on your Sunday morning. We know this winter storm is making its way all across the country, especially towards the East Coast, and it's impacting a lot of airports in its path.
Yeah, one of the busiest airports in the country is adjusting to the operations with this winter storm sweeping through their runways. We're talking about Hartsfield-Jackson International, and they're facing a number of delays and cancellations. Let's get to our Techno meteorologist, Julie Martin, joining us live this morning from Atlanta. What's the latest there, Julie?
Well, a lot of these cancellations were actually planned several days ago, so people have known their flights were canceled and have not unnecessarily showed up to the airport. Now, there are still some flights going out today. I would say a handful of them, and it's actually starting to get just a little bit busier. So it is possible that the airlines have decided, well, we know temperatures are going to be climbing a little bit above freezing, at least for a few hours, so maybe we can get some of these flights out. A lot of people heading off to tropical destinations that we have talked to, and a lot of people were canceled actually days like Thursday or Friday, and now they're coming out here today to try to make up for it and get to where they need to be. So far, the weather hasn't been too terrible, at least around the airport. It's wet out there. The precip has kind of stopped a little bit, but in terms of the freezing aspect of it, just a little bit of freezing drizzle, I would say, for the most part. I'm concerned, though, as we head into tomorrow morning, though, we're still under an ice storm warning here in Atlanta, and temperatures will get even colder as we head into Monday morning. So could see some more problems coming in tomorrow, but nationwide today, not looking great. Almost 10,000 flights have been canceled, not just here, but places like Charlotte, up the I-95 corridor into New York. That's where we have a lot of the snow causing problems there. Places like D.C., also very big volume areas. So here at Hartsfield-Jackson, I think they did a pretty good job overall of actually just planning ahead for this situation. Anytime we mention ice here in Atlanta, people do pay attention. A couple of really big ice storms have crippled this city. So again, I think people have been taking this pretty seriously and, being precautious as they should have been.
Well, it's good to hear a little good news from Atlanta, and hopefully that means we're going to see flights getting back on track a little sooner than expected. But for us here back in the Indianapolis metro, central Indiana, travel is going to be slow going for quite some time. Wanted to show you what it looks like now coming into the city along I-70. As Sean's been mentioning, we haven't had any significant big-time crashes involving multiple vehicles or anything major like that. But the situations have been vehicles that just kind of get stuck. We've got the plows that come through. They plow those main travel lanes, but that creates these deep areas of snowbanks that set up oftentimes near these on and off ramp systems. So you got these perhaps rear wheel drive vehicles that try to merge on and off the interstate. They'd be fine if it was just the travel lanes, but they get stuck in those deeper snowbanks where the plows have been coming through. So that's been the reoccurring theme so far this morning as you look live here near Rural and Keystone. And while we're seeing a little bit of a lull in our heavy snowfall, light snow continues to fall on radar this morning over on the eastern side of the state. And we still have some pretty steady bands falling down in Franklin County, Fayette County, along I-74, and it's starting to redevelop on the southwestern side of the state. That's kind of the secondary leading edge, all lifting north around this area of low pressure. And you see Atlanta right now, that's why they're not having any issues. They're sitting in the warm sector of this weather system, so temperatures have climbed. They're actually awaiting a line of potentially some stronger storms later today as this low moves off to the northeast. But we've got this cold air draped around the backside of that system, and that's what's going to keep our precip type all snow. That's what's going to keep our temperature down for today. Wanted to show you a look across our camera network as well. Everyone's pretty consistent here, near 10 degrees as that snow continues to fall. Just had a report from our friend Mike up at Morse Reservoir reporting around 6 inches of snow there as of right now, and still snowing, so that number likely to get a little bigger. So here we go over the next several hours, and what we're anticipating with your weather impact as this ongoing winter storm continues. We've got those winter storm warnings that will remain in effect through 7 a.m. on Monday. While most of the measurable snowfall is going to taper off after 6 p.m., the wind will start to kick up. that will start to blow and drift some of the snow around because it is a very light, kind of dusty snow. And then we're talking about how long this is going to linger and the impacts from this snow. I think that's likely going to be an issue throughout the day on Monday. So that's why we're going to continue with that impact alert through Monday, talking about that colder air then moving in. Snowfall potential. We've been talking still that 8 to 12 inch range along just north of the I-70 corridor, and then those higher snowfall potential numbers down to the south. So as we look ahead, again, especially Monday, we're going to shift our attention from the measurable heavy snowfall to that very cold air that's going to keep all that snow around for quite some time. We're at 10 in Indy, wind chill 6 below, wind starting to kick up out of the northeast around 14 miles per hour. So we've got this high resolution weather model that's going to take us hour by hour into the afternoon. This actually updates every hour. And we really like to use it in situations like this because it takes what's going on right now and it projects it out into the future and how this is going to play out. So as we look ahead at 4 o'clock today, once again, we still do anticipate that snow starting to filter back in. And then as we get into about 6 o'clock tonight, we'll see that snow starting to taper off on the western side of the state, eventually tapers off on the eastern side of the state by about 8 o'clock. So a little longer there. But then, of course, it's that cold that's going to keep that snow around. Temperatures as we go through the overnight hours will likely start to fall below zero, but with wind gusts in excess of 25 to perhaps as high as 30 miles per hour throughout the remainder of this afternoon into this evening, that's going to make it feel even colder. With the air temp of 4 below in Indy, 5 below in Greencastle overnight, we're going to feel more like potentially 20 to 30 below zero as we wake up on Monday morning. Not to mention the fresh snowpack that has a big time influence in our temperature setup, which will keep our numbers significantly below average as we head into this week. In fact, whenever we even see a little bit of snow, or I should say sun, after the snow moves out, all of that just gets reflected back up into the atmosphere, prevents us from absorbing any of that warmer air. So we're only looking at a high of about 9. And as far as our warmest wind chill tomorrow, around 13 below. So that's pretty significant cold, single-digit air temperatures as we go through the day on Monday. And then in the 10-day forecast, there's your average high this time of year, 36. We're going to see highs in the teens. And then more significantly, we are seeing overnight low temperatures that will be steadily below zero. We're talking as cold as 10 below for an air temperature on Wednesday, 7 below on Thursday. And we slowly start to see some of these numbers recovering in that longer range forecast. But while we are going to be experiencing this pretty brutal cold, we've extended the weather impact alert days for most of the work week because of that cold. Not expecting much more additional snowfall. Might see a quick clipper system on Wednesday, brings up light additional snow, but more so just want you to be prepared for these pretty brutal temperatures here. 7 below on Tuesday, 10 below Wednesday morning, and 7 below on Thursday. We'll keep you updated here as far as our 7-day forecast. We're going to traffic after this?
Yep, let's do it.
All right, Sean, what's it looking like out there?
Yeah, I will say, so we made it through a lot of the morning without a big one. With I-65 southbound, this is going to be at mile marker 152 in Clinton County. Those southbound lanes are closed due to 4 semis have been involved in a crash. Unfortunately, there's not a camera nearby, but you can see that location on the map. And then we also had in Putnam County, I-70 was closed down for a bit as well. Now here across the metro, we've had all kinds of cars just sliding off. So here's the vantage point from 465. This is on the southeast side. So you can see what they do, they clear one lane, and that's great. I mean, seeing pavement is awesome because we haven't seen a lot of pavement, I can tell you that, since we started our coverage at 6 o'clock. So that's some good news there, and kudos to the crews. And then looks like we've got, this is 70 at Sherman Drive. And so what they're going to do is, so these are the plows. So we're actually seeing the plows in work here. And so they'll go in tandem. So kind of neat to see this, and kudos to, again, all the plow drivers doing their best. And it's been a climb, obviously, because we've been in steady snowfall for a long time, and we still have several more hours to go. But this is how it gets done, and you can kind of see everyone kind of following through. As of 10 a.m., these are the counties that we have travel warnings in red, where we expected. Now this is a fluid map, so this can change. You can see a lot of counties that are under travel watch, which means essential travel only, and that would include Marion County and Indianapolis. And if you've been following us the last couple of days, been showing you this product, and we've been kind of highlighting the major road impact, that red zone where the highest snowfall totals near and above a foot have kind of played out for us here. But the travel impacts go all the way into the northern part of the state. It's just the snow's lighter up there, but the roads are still very, very slow. So here we are at 10:30. And we'll be done with this snow sometime around 5 or 6 p.m. So we're going to tack on some more accumulation, and we got the blowing and drifting to go as well. So hang tight. If you can sit it out, it would be advised to stay at home today.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are heeding that advice, but again, we know the people that are out there likely had somewhere to be this morning. It's not just the snow that's tough, it's the temperatures, the wind chills are way below freezing. So if you are staying at home, you're looking for some extra ways to keep you and your family warm, right?
That's right. A lot of people probably turning up the heat, maybe using space heaters, and those can come with risk. But Lisa Washington connects the dots.
Using a space heater to stay warm may not be the best option. Let's connect the dots. Data from the National Fire Protection Association shows space heaters account for nearly half of home heating fires and 70% of deaths. If you're using a space heater, make sure it's set up properly. Keep it at least 3 feet away from anything flammable like curtains, bedding, and upholstered furniture. Turn it off when you go to bed or leave the room, and always make sure that space heaters are plugged directly into the wall, never with a power strip. A surge protector may not be equipped to handle the power needed for space heaters and can cause a fire if it becomes overwhelmed. Also, only use space heaters with a tag from an approved testing lab. These cautionary steps could end up saving your life. And that's connecting the dots.
Good advice right there. Well, check this out. One Olympian is dealing with the snow in a pretty creative way. This is video of 2022 Team USA member Ashley Kane, and you would not guess where she's ice skating right now.
Not in the Midwest, no. This is from our sister station in Dallas that shared this video with us of her ice skating in the streets of Grapevine, Texas. So we said it's not just us, but it is stretched far south here. Of course, she's a professional. We're not encouraging you to get out and ice skate or anything like that, but it is nice to see some that are able to look on the bright side of the snow.
Yeah.
She's not stuck in a car on the side of the road.
True.
She's doing this at her leisure. It is 10:27. We'll be right back.